Hello, Instagram, all you lovely people. I am coming at you live this beautiful Monday morning because I feel like it's important for people who are new here or for people who are new to me or just haven't worked with me before that I need to be really, really clear, and I have kind of a confession to make. So bear with me. Because I think it's important for all of you to know, if you're just joining my page, that I am not really a dating coach. And I know that that's ironic because everything in my handle and everything I've created, I always label myself as a dating coach. But the reality is that if you are looking to work with me, my goal is not to get you dates. It's not, I'm sorry. And this is actually something really, really interesting that I've been thinking about a lot because one of my clients that I've been working with since January actually came to me after working with another dating coach who did focus a lot on strategy and like getting a lot of dates. And I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that's not what I teach. And while it's true, over the last 4 months at least, I have seen one wedding, I have seen 4 relationships, I have 2 clients that are pending engagements pretty soon. And that has all come from my one-on-one clients. But every single client that I have worked with this year that has gone through my one-on-one program called Becoming Your Best Option, they have all reported to me feeling a significant shift in the love that they feel in their life. And I just want to be honest with you that a lot of times it's not romantic. And there is one client in particular who I've been working with since March, and we were on our last call 2 weeks ago, and we just were talking, and he said, I came to you because I thought I wanted to like find my forever love. I thought that this would take me to my forever love. And what I've found is different, and it's no less profound, because what I've found through working with you is a greater capacity and ability to love myself. And I realized doing this work with you that I couldn't even form deep connections with my friends, with my roommates, because I couldn't ask for my needs to be met. And the love that I have found is I know how to connect with people now. I know how to ask for what I need to connect. And from that realization, from that work that we've done together, I no longer have a question that I can now apply this in a romantic setting, but that's not what I necessarily needed to get out of this. T with MC says, yes, girl, it all starts with the self-love. Yes, absolutely. And I think that we get really, really confused around self-love because it's so popular right now. And the reality is that your self-love journey should bring you, it's designed, if you're doing it correctly, it will bring you greater love in every area of your life. The purpose of self-love is being able to grow outward and to share from a place of abundance instead of kind of looking to fill needs from a place of lack. And I think that that's a very, very common misconception, that we tend to focus on self-sacrificial love, like, oh, I need to put my partner's needs above mine. That's real love. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not. Real love is being able to know what your own needs are so that you can ask for your partner to meet them when you need that. But most importantly, that you know at all times how to meet your own needs so that you can be of service to other people, so that you can reach out to other people, so that you can love other people from that place of confidence and groundedness. And I have seen, and I used to do this too, where I would try to ignore my needs and just love other people and like kind of use that as a plug, I guess. And I thought that if I would just serve and like focus on everybody else, that would fill my cup. And I just don't really believe that that's true anymore from the work that I've done, because that always put me in a feeling of lack. And it always made me feel like I had to earn love, and that no matter what I did, it couldn't be about me. And I realized that that's not helpful to people. And so that's what is something that I really specifically focus on in all of my programs is, do you know what your needs are? Do you extend yourself awareness and love first? Because when you do, you get to have your needs met all the time. And then you don't have to be concerned about it. You don't have to be worried about it. It's in the ability to know and meet your own needs that you're able to better help other people. So I think we get that a little bit backwards. And what I've learned is that the best path to really giving love from the heart, and giving love to people who can't give you anything back, and serving from a place of love instead of a place of almost resentment, it comes from your ability to acknowledge and meet your own needs first. So as a self-qualified dating coach, that's something that I want to make sure I really, really communicate to you guys, because I oftentimes get a lot of messages in my DMs like, hey, like, this guy sent me this message, what do I respond back? Or this girl ghosted me, what do I do about it? And the thing is that I don't want to give you all those answers. I don't want to be there to say, this is your next move, this is your next text, this is what you do, XYZ. I want to empower you to know what feels best to you to do, what feels best to you to say, because I can't give you a strategy that'll work for you if it's not really true to you. And that's a major shift in the client that I mentioned before that I've been working with since January. Is he has told me all of these strategies that I've been using, they haven't really been working for me because it's not bringing me connection. Like, it gets me dates, but it's not really bringing me the connection. And what I've realized working with you is that I need to focus on the connection. And for a lot of people that I work with, they tend to be pretty type A personalities. And what's interesting is and typically, honestly, I work mostly with men. And what's interesting is that they'll come to me and they'll say like, okay, I want the strategy, I want the game, I want to know what to do. And I am constantly saying, listen, you've got to decide what you want to do based on what feels best to you. And when you lead from that place of, I know what my needs are. I am self-aware and I know what to ask for and I'm confident in asking for it. Then you just don't need the strategies because you lean into your own intuition and you lean into what feels like a connection for you. And that's really, really what I focus on is what does the connection feel like? And when you do that, and you approach dating or anything in your life from this place of what do I really want and what makes me feel really cherished and loved and cared about, then it's not really gonna like make you confused or anxious or worried about dating because you just get to lean into the connection that feels best to you. And we identify that together, which is honestly what's so impactful about my one-on-one program is that it is a 6-month self-discovery journey where you get to learn all about yourself and you get to learn how to meet your own needs so that when you find someone who is right for you, then you get to approach it as two independent beings who create this interdependence instead of a codependency. And that's what is created, honestly, when you kind of look for a partner to fulfill all of your needs, especially if you don't know what they are and you become really reliant and dependent on your partner to feel validated, to feel loved, to feel good. Not that they don't contribute to that, but if you can't establish it on your own, you create codependency with your partner. And that codependency always puts the feeling of love, the feeling of validation, the feeling of confidence in the external. It puts it on somebody else. And so you're always depending on outside people, your partner, it could be your parents, it could be your family, it could be your friends, it doesn't matter. Your feeling of self-worth is constantly being given away and it's dependent on someone else. And when you don't have the power and the control over that, then you're never really going to feel loved because you're waiting for someone else to give it to you. And you don't have to do that. Something else that is really, really, really impactful from the work that I do is that I don't focus specifically on romantic relationships. And because I don't, they still happen. I have seen the majority of my clients entering into great, deep, loving, fulfilling relationships. But the other piece of it is that you are getting a love and an appreciation for your life overall, that not only do you get to believe in, oh, this is the kind of love that I get to have, that I've always dreamed of, that I never really believed that I would get or that I was worthy of, but you get to apply it in every single area of your life. What's been truly incredible and inspiring to me as a coach is that I work specifically, although not exclusively, with members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And a very, very common pattern that I have seen that I used to perpetuate myself, and that was kind of that I was reminded of recently when I was talking with a couple who they have good jobs, they're married, they're happy, they have a house, and they're kind of this like baseline content with their life. And oftentimes what we do, especially within the church, and this is culture, okay, this is definitely not stemming from doctrine or gospel, is that we kind of get scared of asking for more because we think that that somehow makes us like ungrateful for what we have. And this was really highlighted with this couple that I was talking to, because over the course of our conversation, our time talking with each other, I was counting, I was keeping a tally in my head of all of the times that they mentioned something that they wanted, something that they wished they could have, something that they wish they could do. But then they would like disqualify themselves and they would say, oh, but it's too expensive. We can't afford it. Oh, someday, or, I've wanted this thing for years, but it's so expensive. So I can't let myself buy it. And that's something that I used to do all the time, especially because that was the reality of my financial situation. I was living on $7,000 a year. So one more time, $7,000 a year. That was the max amount of money that I made. And so I used to say the same thing. I would not live where I wanted to live. I would not do what I wanted to do. And I would hold myself back in a lot of ways because I would say, well, I just can't afford it. I just don't have the money. And it was true. I did not have the money. But that just prevented me from feeling like I was worthy of having the things that I wanted. And what really changed for me was not just coming into all of that money. What changed for me was that I made a commitment that the terms cheap, expensive, and I can't afford that, or I'm too poor, I eliminated those from my vocabulary. I stopped saying it because even though my financial situation was still pretty dismal, I was attaching my worth and my ability to have or receive to that financial situation. So to really honestly get out of it, I just stopped saying it. And instead, if I wanted something, I would tell myself, I deserve that. I want that and I deserve that. And I want to figure out a way to have it. And I started doing that, and I started creating kind of a vision board of what I would like to have. Specifically, this can be interpreted however you want to. I don't really care. But I remember when I was a lot younger, I was working as a waitress, and a group came into my restaurant, and there was only one woman in the group. And she came in with these beautiful black heels, and she turned around and they had this red bottom. And I was like, wow, those are some friggin' beautiful shoes. She seems so accomplished and successful. When I am successful, I will buy those shoes. And that was just something that I committed to myself. And instead of saying like, I can't afford those shoes, I'm not successful, I don't deserve them, whatever, I looked up what they were. If you don't know, they're called Christian Louboutins, and they are $800. And I didn't even have $800 in my bank account, but I was like, man, I deserve to have those shoes. And it took me years of correcting this mindset. And I don't know if you guys can see, but sitting right over there, you see them? Those are my second pair of Christian Louboutin shoes because I decided that I was worthy to have them. And that can seem a little superficial because they're just shoes, but to me, they weren't. And to my clients, it's not just shoes. It's not just anything, right? I work with all of my clients on stepping into their potential. So a lot of the work that we do together is we work on and we create vision boards of, okay, what do you want your life to really be? If you would stop holding yourself back, if you would stop defining yourself by your financial situation or by your dating status or by any of these titles and labels and boxes that we put ourselves in. Like, who is that person? What do you have? What do you do? What is your life like? And are you excited to live it? And when we do that work, not only do they just give life and permission to see and explore the life that they want, they also start stepping into it. And that's one of the most touching and inspiring wins that I see, especially from my one-on-one clients, is that I've had people graduate from my program still single, but they're not really concerned about being single anymore. They have released what they've decided that meant for them, what that confined them to, and they started dreaming bigger. I have one client who finished my program. He is still single, but when we finished the program together, I said, what do you think is the biggest thing that you've gained from this experience? And he said, I'm not worried about getting married anymore. I may still be single, but I also know it's within my control and that I don't have to worry about it. And not having to worry about it and feeling so confident that it's coming to me has given me the excitement and the confidence that I'm going to start an amusement park. So he like switched from, hey, I really want to work with you because I want a girlfriend, to, hey, cool, I know I'm going to get one. I'm not really worried about it anymore. I'm going to create a friggin' theme park. Like, the things that we get to have and get to experience and get to live when we stop confining ourselves based on our belief systems, based on the labels we give ourselves, based on our financial circumstances. It's honestly so incredible. He is one of 8 of my clients from this year who has started his own business because he just gave himself permission to live in a greater capacity. And he is just doing exactly what he wants to do. And something that I think is so beautiful about his story is that he came from also not making very much money. He was working at Disney for like 20 years, I think. And he was laid off during the pandemic. And he was telling me that he was a little bit envious of his brother who was doing construction and contract work. And he was making all this money and he was doing so well and like, just really wanted that for himself. And then we did that work together and we created together a vision of what his life could be if he just chose to step into it and to act as if everything he wanted, he gets to have. And he shared with me that his brother called him and said, hey, I can't believe that you're starting your own amusement park and he has come into, a exponentially better financial situation. And he is so confident now and he's not feeling like lonely or down on himself. And his brother was like, listen, I'm really jealous of you. I want that. That's so empowering. That's so inspiring. How did you do that? And it's so much fun for me, honestly, to work with people in this capacity and to see people light up with the life that they want to live and then the belief that they get to have it. And it's important to me that we actually take action together and we walk into that life together and they start seeing those results for themselves, because that's just a completely different kind of self-acceptance and self-love. To just kind of lead into a shift that I've made, if you don't know, because I said I'm not a dating coach, I guess I should qualify. I'm not just a dating coach. I am a self-love coach. I am a love your life coach. I'm a mindset and confidence coach. I also teach money and business. And right now, I have an open mastermind community. I just started it this month, and it is open specifically to people who just want more. Most people in the group are entrepreneurs and they are starting businesses, but that's definitely not a requirement to be invited in. What is a requirement is the belief and the dedication to building more life for yourself. And for some of my clients, that has come in the form of just figuring out ways to make more money. And what's really incredible about it is because this mastermind opened just in August, it's not even the end of the month, right? And I've had 3 of my clients so far not only make the money that they told me they wanted to make. For some people it was pretty significant, and for some people it was a little bit lower, but it was just kind of what would feel good for them to make in the month. And every single one of them made more than the cost to work with me for the month. So that's something that obviously I've been talking really openly with this community about is a lot of people disqualify themselves from having what they want and stepping into more life because they look at their bank account and they say, I can't afford that. And I asked you guys, if you'll remember a few weeks ago, would it change anything for you? Would it mean anything to you if you could just learn how to make more money? And I had an overwhelming response to that. A lot of people said, yes, that would make a huge difference. And so that's why I created this mastermind coaching community, because I get so heartbroken when I talk to people who just like wish for things that they think they can't have. And they disqualify themselves from even buying a pair of Chacos because they're like, I just can't bring myself to spend money on that. And that is not in any way to minimize anyone's financial situation. I know, I've been there. The very first coaching investment that I made when I was unemployed. And I was already living on a credit card, and I had just enough on that card to pay my rent and to pay for this program. And that's what I did. And the confidence that it brought me, that I am more, my dreams are more, my desires are more than what I see in a bank account. That's what gives you the power to change your bank account. And that's true for every area of your life where you feel like you're holding yourself back, or that you're limited, or that you can't have or do something. For a lot of people, they get really, really concerned with being single. And I get it. I was there too. I didn't get married until I was 28. My husband was 36. So it's hard to understand that you don't have to be defined by your circumstances. But when you realize that, when you step into that, when you start imagining what your life gets to be, regardless of your circumstances, you change your circumstances. I know that from doing it myself. I know it from my clients doing it again and again and again. And I know that it can happen for you too. That's what I want to help you with. That's what I am the most passionate about. More than dating, more than money, more than business, more than anything else, although I teach all of those things and I relate to you in the way that you feel the most hindered, the most important to me is that you get to believe that you're limitless. And if I were to, I guess, redefine the kind of coach that I am, I would say that I am a coach that is passionate about helping you become limitless. Because you get to have the life that you want. You get to have the things that you want. You get to love people from the place that you want. And all of that is absolutely within your control. All of that is work that we can do together. And with all of that said, this week, I'm going to be opening back up my mastermind. I accept people indefinitely. This is not a, if the door is closed, you miss it, that's it. You can't be part of it. I will open and close the doors every single month. So when you feel like you're ready to make a change and to step into greater life, greater possibility, greater opportunities, greater money, greater love, all of it, then ask me about my mastermind. You can apply with the link in my bio. You can send me a DM. It's something I'm really, really excited about. I love all of the people that are in it right now. I say question. Do you coach those in the 2S LGBTQA community, QIA? So I do. I coach anybody who wants more. Like I said before, I focus specifically but not exclusively on the LDS community because that's how I can relate to people. That's where a lot of teachings come from, is just the eternal principle of divine nature. That's at the core of everything I coach. But I don't choose to exclude anybody. And I love all people, and everyone who believes that they want more, that they deserve more, they're welcome. So if you want to know about it, if you want to work with me, if you want to come to build that picture of the most exciting, the most fulfilling, the most incredible, beautiful life that you can possibly imagine and more, then please reach out to me. Please don't hesitate or feel nervous, because I've been where most people have been. I have lived in extreme poverty. I have lived in some pretty dicey circumstances. I have dealt with most self-confidence issues. I have dealt with a lot of trauma. I can't step into everybody's place, everybody's circumstances, but I can relate to a lot more than you might assume from just watching this video, or if you've come across me recently, because my life has transformed exponentially in the last year. But I know where I've been. I know where I come from. And I think there's no one below help. And I think that this world is better when we feel empowered to create beyond our circumstances and to show ourselves what we're worthy of and to receive everything that we want. That's my goal. That's what I coach people on. And I would be so, so, so excited to engage with and work with you if you're still watching this. I know this has been a long video. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being here. I hope that you feel love in any of my videos and any of my content. My goal is your limitless life, your feeling of love, and I hope that's always what you feel here. And I love you all. Talk to you later.